We never actually had like an official time where we met. We just both went to the same high school.
A funny story between me and my friends, they used to make fun of me so bad all the time because they just knew how much I liked her.
There was one time I remember like actually seeing him for the first time, and he was all dressed up nice for baseball since they dress up for the home games. And I just remember seeing him and he looked so nice, and then he had these tennis shoes on that did not look as nice as the rest of his clothes, and I just thought that was the cutest thing ever, that he was just so simple and he didn't care, and I just thought he was so cute, and I went and told all my friends that I had the biggest crush on him, and he had a crush on me too, and I didn't even know it.
Details of our first date. Those are some funny details. So I actually, the way I asked her, I actually Snapchatted her.
It actually turned into a double date with my best friend Jade and his best friend Chasten.
And we went to this little ice cream place out in North Ogden. It's called Zeppi's. And I don't know, it's kind of a good time. Me and Maddie were a little bit awkward.
It was super awkward, honestly. He was super nervous, I was super nervous. We both liked each other, and
I was a lot nervous.
when I get nervous, I just laugh, and so I just was giggling and thought it was so funny, and I knew I was being super awkward, so I'm honestly surprised that there was a second date at all.
It was a good first date. I enjoyed it.
So first kiss was just as awkward as the first date. So he was over at my house, we were just in my basement, and we were watching a movie, and I could kind of tell he started to act a little different.
I mean, I've been mustering up the courage to do this for weeks, like for a really long time. And
he kind of just came in and met me halfway, and so I really loved that.
the night I proposed, Maddie, I mean, she kind of knew that we had a date set and everything already, and so she kind of knew we were getting married. She kind of knew it was coming, and I didn't really like that she knew all these things, so I kind of wanted her to be a little bit more surprised, so I tried really hard to make this a surprise.
Since our first date was at Zeppi's, he drove past there.
The whole parking lot is empty because they're closed at this time of the year. It's in the winter, you know, it's kind of their off season. And so it was all empty, so I had a chance to go there, and we set up some lights, some really cool stuff, and then I had a little note waiting there for her.
Right then I knew that it was happening, and I looked over at him and just saw that there was tears in his eyes, and I knew he was doing it. It was pouring rain, and I didn't get out of the car for a long time just because I was super emotional. But we got out, and he walked me up to the fence where all of our pictures were hanging and all these cute lights.
Just kind of popped the question, you know, her whole family was there, my whole family was there. She read the note. It was a pretty emotional thing. I mean, it was good.
He makes fun of me now because I saw my family and I started running over to them, and he was like, wait, Maddie, like, do you want the ring? You didn't even put the ring on yet. It's hard to choose one, but my favorite date probably is, it was the 4th of July after we just started dating, and we had been with family. We had a fun barbecue all day. Later that night, he came and picked me up in his truck, and he had set up all these cute pillows and blankets, and he'd got my favorite treats that he knew I loved, and he drove us up, and we went up to the Pineview Lake, and he set his truck in this meadow where it was perfect, and he goes up there all the time, so he knew exactly when the fireworks were gonna go off, and the fireworks started happening and they were reflecting off the lake, and it was so pretty. And then that was the first time he told me that he loved me too, so it was my favorite memory I have with him.
So there was this one night, we went and saw a movie at the AMC Theater in Layton. It was a late movie. I think we went to like a 10 o'clock one, so we were getting out like midnight, and just on our way home, and we get out and it's like raining, pouring rain, and there's no one else in the parking lot. It's literally just me and Maddie. I think we're the only ones in the theater, the only ones there the entire time. And we walk outside, and there are seriously birds everywhere. It was the weirdest thing. Me and Maddie will both swear to you that there were crows in every tree, on every branch. It was kind of one of those weird things, that one of those moments that really kind of defines me and Maddie. When I was converted, you know, I've been around the church my whole life, obviously. Like, the majority of my friends were part of the church.
I had grown up being LDS my whole life, and obviously forever I knew that I wanted to get married in the temple.
All throughout high school, you know, I knew it was there. I didn't know much about it, but I just knew it was there always.
Me and my family, we had the sister missionaries over for dinner, and at the end they shared this little spiritual message with us, and they were just talking about how to share the words of Christ and how it can change someone's life. And then They were just asking if we knew anyone that wasn't a member and if we could reach out to them. Like, I just remember looking over him and I was like, Kaden! They asked if he would want to take the missionary discussions and he agreed so quick, and it just changed our entire relationship. It was amazing to see our high school sweetheart relationship turn into me looking at him as my eternal companion and looking him with that vision instead. Kind
of the main reason that I wanted to get converted in the first place was I saw how her and her family were just all the time. I mean, the things that they did in their house and the way they lived their lives, and it just really made me feel like their family was a really close, tight-knit family.
So he got the missionary discussions and he agreed to be baptized, and he asked me to speak at his baptism. My favorite thing too about him is just that I saw him say his first prayer and I saw him just gain that Christ-like light in his eyes and change as a person.
Maddie was a huge part of that. I mean, she's been the biggest example to me in that way. And I honestly don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for her.
One of my favorite things about Kaden is just how much he gets along with my family. My little sisters honestly look up to him so much, and when we started talking about getting married, I was telling my sisters, and their response was just that he's felt like family for so long and they're so excited to have him as their brother, and so that's one of my favorite things.
What do I love about Maddie? That is a pretty loaded question. There's a lot to choose from. I mean, she has so many awesome qualities, so many good things about her. I would say if I had to pick, just one or two, I would say I truly do love how kind she is. I mean, I've never met anyone who is so nice, like almost overly nice to everyone she meets in her life.